Hi everyone, welcome to Numeriq Learning. Let us continue solving problems from the chapter Some Applications of Trigonometry. Do take your notebook and make sure you solve each and every question and you also understand how we solve each of them. Let's get started. The very first question of the day is, if the length of the shadow of a tower is increasing, if the length of the shadow of a tower is increasing, then the angle of elevation of the sun is also increasing. Let us draw a tower of a specific height. So this is a tower, and the same tower I am drawing another tower here. Okay. Initially, let this be the length of the shadow. And in another scenario, second scenario, the length of the shadow is increasing. Now let's join the two for visualizing the angle of elevation of the sun, and even in the second scenario, right? So now let say, for example, the tower AB be of length say 4 root 3 meters. 4 root 3 meters. Okay, let the shadow in the first scenario be 2 meters. Okay, and so this is initially 2 meters, and then it has increased by plus, again it has increased by 4 meters, for example. Okay, initially let your theta be 60 degrees, just an example. What do you think will be the new theta angle of elevation when the length of the shadow increases? Initially, when it was 2 meters, this theta was 60 degree. When the length of the shadow increased by 4, do you think this new theta is greater than 60 or less than 60? See, if this is an angle, then it is greater than 60, isn't it? This is 90. Okay, so if this is 60, obviously theta dash is less than 60. So what do you see? As the length of the shadow increases, theta decreases. The angle of elevation of the sun decreases. So that is what you understand from this question. Okay, so if the length of the shadow, shadow increases, then the angle of elevation of, that is theta, decreases. Or you can also say that the length of the shadow is always inversely proportional to the angle of elevation. Is it clear? So is this statement true or false? Now let us read it again. If the length of the shadow of a tower is increasing, then the angle of elevation of the sun is also increasing. So it is false. It is false. It is, okay, it does not increase. The angle of elevation of the sun decreases, right? So you can justify it if it is asked, and this is how you have to remember this concept. Let's move on to the next question. Yes. Okay, so you have to prove that sine theta divided by 1 plus cos theta plus 1 plus cos theta by sine theta is equal to 2 cosecant theta. So this is the question. You have to prove this identity. Let's do it. So let's take our left hand side. Sine, I am writing it as just s, divided by 1 plus c is cos, plus 1 plus cos divided by sine. Take the LCM. So LCM is sine into 1 plus cos. Again, take the LCM. 1 plus cos is there, multiplied by sine. So this sine multiplied by the numerator sine becomes sine square, plus sine multiplied by what will give you sine into 1 plus cos? 1 plus cos. So 1 plus cos into 1 plus cos is 1 plus cos the whole square. Right? Expand it using a plus b the whole square. So what do you get? Sine square plus 1 a square plus b square cos square plus 2ab. So 2 cos whole divided by sine into 1 plus cos. Okay. What you have to see here is, now let us simplify. What is sine square plus cos square? It is 1. We know that. You should write. We know that sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1. Therefore, sine square plus cos square will become 1. I'm just going to write it here, 1 plus there is already a 1 plus 2 cos whole divided by sine into 1 plus cos. Right, this will become 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 cos divided by sine into 1 plus cos. Take 2 common out, what will you have? 1 plus cos divided by sine into 1 plus cos. So 1 plus cos will get cancelled in both numerator and denominator, and what is left is just 2 by sine theta. What is 1 by sine theta? It is cosecant theta. This is equal to our RHS. This is equal to RHS, hence proved. Okay, so this is how you have to do it. Take the LHS and take the LCM and solve it, simplify it, make use of the identities that you have learned. Okay, let's do another question related to proving the identities. The question is, this is the third question, prove that tan A divided by 1 plus secant A minus tan A divided by 1 minus secant A is equal to 2 multiplied by cosecant A, 2 cosecant A. Okay, so here also let's take the LHS. What is the LCM? It's a product of 1 plus secant A multiplied by 1 minus secant A. So in the numerator you will have tan A multiplied by 1 minus secant A minus tan A multiplied by 1 plus secant A. Right? Take tan A common from the numerator. Take a square bracket. So what is the term? First one is 1 minus secant A minus. So there is a minus here, right? So let me minus into 1. I have taken tan A common outside. So the first term is 1 plus secant A. There is a minus here. So minus into 1 is minus 1. I am writing it directly. Minus 1. And minus into plus secant A. It's minus secant A. Whole divided by A plus B into A minus B. A square minus B square. Secant square A. Now, plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled. What are you left with? Tan A multiplied by minus secant A is minus 2 secant A whole divided by 1 minus secant square A. Okay. Now we know that secant square A minus, secant square A minus tan square A equal to 1. Right. So what is 1 minus secant A will be minus tan square A, or you can write secant square A minus 1 will be tan square A. Right. So let us replace this. You can take a negative common from the denominator. There is already a negative sign here, so you can flip this. Okay, take minus 1 common. So in the numerator you have tan minus, okay, minus, you've just taken it out, minus of tan A multiplied by 2 secant A divided by, when you take one negative common out, 1 minus secant square A becomes secant square A minus 1. You've taken 1 minus 1 common. Now this minus gets cancelled. What remains? Tan A, or you can write 2 tan A into secant A divided by secant square A minus 1 is tan square A. Okay. Now this 1 tan A and square will get cancelled. So what remains is 2 secant A divided by tan A. Let us pause for a minute and see what we have to prove. We have to prove it is equal to 2 cosecant A. What is cosecant A? Cosecant A is 1 over sine, isn't it? So we don't need cos at all. Now let's see. So this is equal to 2 secant is nothing but 1 by cos whole divided by tan is nothing but sine by cos, right? So this divided by cos, cos will get cancelled. What remains is nothing but 2 multiplied by 1 by sin A. Okay, this is equal to 2 cosecant A. This is equal to our RHS, hence proved. So this is quite an important question. Reason is because there is a slight change. You have to modify this, right? One, you have to take negative common out and apply this identity. That is secant square minus 1 is equal to tan square A. Okay, tan square theta or tan square A. So this is quite an important question. So definitely make sure you do it. I am marking it as important. Right? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Yes, this is again a very easy question. Find the angle of elevation of the sun when the shadow of the pole h meter high is root 3 h meter long. Let's draw the diagram. So you have a pole of height h. Okay. And the shadow of the pole is root 3 h meters. Okay. This is a right angle triangle. Let AB be the pole of height h meters, and let BC be the shadow of the length of the shadow, which is root 3 h meters. Okay, this is your angle of elevation, which is theta. So if this is theta, this becomes your AB becomes your perpendicular. This is your 90 degrees. So this is your hypotenuse and this is your base. You have to find the angle of elevation. Okay, now what are the two things given? You are given perpendicular is h, base is root 3h. So which trigonometric ratio relates P and B? It is tan. So we can write tan theta is equal to perpendicular by base, P by B. What is your P? H. What is your base? Root 3h. So this h and h will get cancelled. What remains is just 1 by root 3. So tan theta is equal to 1 by root 3. Tan of which angle is 1 by root 3? It is tan 30. Okay, you should already be knowing this. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. On comparing, you get theta is equal to 30 degree. On comparing, we see that theta is equal to 30 degree is the answer. Okay, so the angle of elevation of the sun in this particular question, theta is 30 degree. I hope it's clear. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, a ladder 15 meter long just reaches the top of a vertical wall. If the ladder makes an angle of 60 degree with the wall, it makes an angle of 60 degree not with the ground but with the wall. Then find the height of the wall. Let's draw this again. So you have a ladder which is 15 meter long, reaches the top of a vertical wall. So this is your vertical wall. Okay. This ladder makes an angle of 60 degree with the wall. This is your wall and this is the 15 meter long ladder. Let's draw the ground also. Find the height of the wall. You have to find this h. Now, based on things that are given, let us first label it, say A, B, C. And mark which are the which side is the perpendicular, which side is the base and hypotenuse. So this happens to be your 90 degrees, so this will be your hypotenuse. Since this is theta, angle A is theta, the side which is right in front of your theta, the opposite side, this happens to be your perpendicular, and the third one, the wall, is your base. Right? Now, what are the two things that are, what is given? Hypotenuse is given. Theta is known. The base is asked. So which is the trigonometric ratio which relates base and hypotenuse? It is cos, right? Cos is equal to cos theta equal to b by h, base by hypotenuse. So let's write that. So you can write, but before that, when you if such questions are asked in your exam, what should you write? Let AC be the ladder of length 15 meter. This is how you have to write. And let AB be the wall of height h meters. Angle A is equal to 60 degree. Okay, like this you have to write. In triangle ABC, cos 60 is equal to B by H, base. Which is the base? AB is the base, because your perpendicular and base always depends on your theta angle. Okay, so this is your reference angle, this is your perpendicular. The side which is right in front of your 90 degrees is always your hypotenuse. So the third one will be your base. What is your hypotenuse? AC. AC. Okay, so just substitute. AB is nothing but H. AC is nothing but 15. What is cos 60? 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 equal to H by 15. Cross multiply. 2H equal to 15. And H is nothing but 15 divided by 2 meters. So this is the height of the wall. Okay. This is the height of the wall, and that's your answer. That's what you're asked. Okay, find the height of the wall. It is 15 by 2. Or you can write 7.5 meters also. Divide it and put it in decimals. I hope it's clear. Let's move on to the next question. Simplify 1 plus tan square multiplied by, so it's again very easy, 1 minus sine into 1 plus sine. So the minute, what do you see? What identity do you see here? A minus B into A plus B, which is A square minus B square. So let's do this. You just have to simplify, right? 1 plus tan square theta multiplied by 1 minus sine square theta, right? A square minus B square. What is 1 plus tan square theta? So again, let us calculate. So you know secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. If minus tan goes to the other side, what will you have? Secant square theta is equal to 1 plus tan square theta. So what is 1 plus tan square theta? It is nothing but secant square theta. Multiplied by what is 1 minus sine square? It is cos square. So we know sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. Okay, so 1 minus sine square is nothing but cos square theta. Secant square theta is equal to 1 over cos square theta. Reciprocal of cos is secant, multiplied by cos square theta. And there you go. Cancel cos square and cos square. Your final answer is just 1. Just a 2-step question, isn't it? It's just a 2-step solution. Let's move on to the next question. Yeah. If 2 sine square minus cos square equal to 2, then find the value of theta. How do you do this? So you are given 2 sine square theta minus cos square theta is equal to 2. You have to find the value of theta. So let's convert cos square to sine square. 2 sine square minus cos square is nothing but 1 minus sine square is equal to 2. Open the bracket. So 2 sine square minus 1 minus into minus is plus sine square equal to 2. What is 2 sine square plus sine square? It's 3 sine square. Minus 1 equal to 2. Minus 1 goes to the other side. So 3 sine square theta is equal to 2 plus 1, 3. So sine square theta is equal to 3 by 3, which is 1. And sine of 90 degree is 1. Right? So sine square theta is equal to 1 means if you take the square root, what do you get? Sine theta is also equal to 1, right? Root of plus or minus root of 1. So you will not take a negative value, you will take the positive value. So 1 is nothing but sine of 90. So on comparing, we get theta is equal to 90 degree. Okay. That's all. Let's do the next question. Yeah. An observer 1.5 meter tall is 20.5 meter away from a tower 22 meter high. Determine the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the eye of the observer. Let's draw the diagram. The observer is 1.5 meter tall. Okay. So this is the observer, just an example. The observer is 1.5 meter tall, right? He is 20.5 meter away from a tower 22 meter high. Okay, so let's draw a tower. The tower's height is 22 meters and the observer is at a distance of 20.5 meters. So let's write that. So this is your tower of height 22 meters. Okay. And the distance between the observer and the tower is given as 20.5 meters. That's your first sentence, right? An observer 1.5 meter tall is 20.5 meter away from a tower of height 22 meters. Determine the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the eye of the observer. So, you have to find out the angle of elevation from the eyes of the observer to the top of the tower. Let's draw our horizontal. This is the angle of elevation. You have to find out this theta. Okay. Now, let us mark the points. Say, let this be P, Q. Let this be A, B. And let this point be M. Right? If this is 20.5, what is the length of PM? PM equal to QB. So, this is also equal to 20.5 meters. Right? I hope all of you can see a right angle triangle being formed wherever the triangle wherein you have this theta, you can see a right angle triangle, right? AMP. Okay, so you know the whole height of the tower is 22. Then what will be what is MB? MB is equal to PQ, right? So this is also 1.5 meters. This small length MB. Then what is the length of AM? This will be 22 minus 1.5. What is 22 minus 1.5? So you have 0.50, 20.5, right? This is 20.5 meters. I hope you can understand this. Okay. So this AB, total height of the tower is 22. MB is 1.5. Therefore, AM is nothing but 20.5 meter. Let me write it here. So what I just did was the total height of the tower AB is equal to 22 meters. Right? What is the height length of MB is nothing but 1.5 meters. Therefore, AM is equal to AB minus MB. What is AB? 22 minus what is MB? 1.5. So, you get 0.50, 20.5 meters. So, the length AM, right? This length AM is 20.5 meters. PM is nothing but 20.5. So, which is the hypotenuse here? So, this is your 90 degree. This happens to be a hypotenuse. This is your theta angle. Therefore, this will be your perpendicular and this is your base. P and B is known to you. So, if P and B are known to you, what can you do? In triangle APM, we can see that tan of theta is equal to P by B. What is your P? Perpendicular is 20.5 divided by what is your base? Base is also 20.5. So which happens to be 1. Tan of which value is 1? It is tan 45 degree. So therefore, you get your angle of elevation on comparing. We get theta is equal to 45 degree, and that's your answer. Okay. I hope it's clear. Always make sure whenever you are reading any question related to trigonometry or applications of trigonometry, make sure your diagram is very, very clear and explanatory. All the values have to be very clear. Okay. Let's do another question. Yes. This is also a very important question. So let's do it. If cosecant theta plus cot theta equal to p, then prove that cos theta equal to p square minus 1 divided by p. Okay, so let's take our LHS. Right? So what is in your left hand side? Cosecant theta, I can write it as 1 by sine. Plus cot theta, I can write as cos by sine is equal to p. Take the LCM. Is sine, numerator will be 1 plus cos equal to p. What do we need? We need p square. So what can I do? Squaring both the sides. Squaring both the sides. So what can I do? 1 plus cos the whole square divided by sine square equal to p square. Right? Expand it using a plus b the whole square, a square plus b square plus 2ab divided by sine square equal to p square. Okay. So this is your p square, right? Once you get your p square, now what you have to do is you have to substitute it here, p square minus 1 and p square plus 1. And let us prove that this is equal to cos theta. Okay, so therefore, what can you write? Therefore, p square minus 1 divided by p square plus 1 will be, what is your p square? 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos whole divided by sine square minus 1 divided by, again, 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos divided by sine square plus 1. When you take the LCM, you will have sine square in the denominator. So 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos minus sine square whole divided by 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos plus sine square divided by sine square. So this denominator sine square will get cancelled. And what remains here is 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos minus sine square whole divided by 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos plus sine square. Right? Here, sine square plus cos square is equal to 1. Right? In the numerator, we can convert the sine square into 1, this particular sine square into 1 minus cos square. So what do you get? 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos theta minus into 1. Sine square is 1 minus cos square theta whole divided by 1 is this 1 plus sine square plus cos square is also 1. So I'm going to write another 1 plus 2 cos theta. Open the bracket in the numerator. So 1 plus cos square plus 2 cos theta minus 1 minus into minus is plus cos square whole divided by 2 plus 2 cos. This 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled. What will remain is 2 cos square theta plus 2 cos theta whole divided by 2 plus 2 cos theta. Take 2 cos common from the numerator. So what remains is cos plus 1 whole divided by, again take 2 common out, 1 plus cos. So this 1 plus cos, 1 plus cos gets cancelled, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, and what remains is only cos theta. And this is equal to our LHS. Okay, so we are taking our RHS initially after finding out what is your P square in terms of sine and cos. So we initially using this, what is given as P, we are converting cosecant and cot into sine and cos, calculating what is P square, taking our RHS expression, substituting that with the term that we have got, P square, we are replacing it with this expression, just simplifying it, and what finally we get is the cos theta, which is our LHS. So you can write, therefore, LHS equal to RHS, hence proved. I hope it's clear. Okay, please make sure you do this. This is also a very, very important question. Please mark it as important. Okay, and make sure you do it. I hope today's class was helpful and you learned these questions, and if these questions are asked in your exams, you will definitely be able to do it. Please revise frequently all the topics and all the questions that we have been doing in the first 3 chapters and introduction to trigonometry and now the applications. So I hope you're liking it. I hope the series is very helpful. Do share it with your friends and please do subscribe if you haven't. Happy learning. Thank you so much.